Hi guys, nice to meet you. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Putri Fitra Fadila and I'm from B1. Before we start our video, let me ask you guys a question. So guys, have you ever heard about the myth of prohibition that Javanese people marrying Sundanese people? I think some of us have heard about this myth before, but do you know the story behind this myth or why this myth appear in our society? There is a big war underlying this story. Are you curious about that? What war is it? Or why this war happened? So, without any doubt, let's get started and let me tell you the story behind this myth. This story begins beautifully by Hayam Wuruk and Diah Pitaloka. At the time, Hayam Wuruk wanted to make Diah Pitaloka from Sundanese kingdom as his wife. He was fascinated by the beauty of Diah Pitaloka that he saw on the paint. This paint was secretly painted by Sungging Prabangkara. The royal family of Majapahit was initially opposed to this. Hayam Wuruk, on the other hand, was able to persuade them by claiming that the marriage will unite the two kingdoms. After getting the blessing of the royal family, Hayam Wuruk immediately sent a messenger to convey his wishes to Diah Pitaloka in the land of Sunda. The proposal was finally accepted, and the wedding will be held in the land of Majapahit. The Sundanese kingdom showed its displeasure if the wedding takes place in Majapahit. This is odd because, according to the norm of the day, it was not customary for the bride to visit the groom's home. However, because Maharaja Linggapwana felt the need to tie back the sense of brotherhood that already existed in the ancestral line of the two kingdoms, he still decided to go to Majapahit. And finally, the royal family of Sunda went to Majapahit. When they arrived in Majapahit, they were placed in a field called Battle of Bubat. Hayam Wuruk had a desire to welcome guests at Battle of Bubat, but this was opposed by Gajah Mada. According to Gajah Mada, it is not appropriate for a king of a great kingdom like Majapahit to welcome the entourage by coming to him at Battle of Bubat. This is considered to degrade his dignity and the dignity of the Majapahit kingdom. Because it was not welcomed, the king of Sunda kingdom sent his patih, named Patih Anepakan, to meet the Majapahit to the capital. Patih Anekan's arrival to the capital was welcomed by Gajah Mada. When Patih Anekan arrived to the capital of Majapahit, Gajah Mada intends to invade the Sunda kingdom by his swear Sumpah Palapa. He claimed that the Sunda kingdom's appearance indicated that they had fallen into Majapahit's grasp. Patih Anekan, as a Sundanese royal messenger, was very disappointed by this and went back to Pesanggrahan Bubat to meet Maharaja Linggapwana. A few days after the incident, unbeknownst to Hayam Wuruk, Gajah Mada came to Pesanggrahan Bubat with a letter containing a request that the arrival of the Sundanese royal family to Majapahit was a form of Sunda kingdom to the hands of Majapahit. Maharaja Linggapwana insisted on rejecting this. This led to a dispute that led to an unbalanced battle between the two royal families. At the time, the Sundanese royal family did not bring much troops. The unfair battle ended with Gajah Mada's victory and the deaths of Maharaja Linggapwana and a number of Sundanese officials who had joined the entourage at the time. Princess Diah Pitaloka, who had just witnessed her entire family perish, was heartbroken. Finally, the princess did the act of Pilapati. The act of Pilapati is an act of suicide for the honor of her nation and her country, and also for his own dignity and sanctity. On the other side, Hayam Wuruk doesn't know anything that happens. Hearing the news, Hayam Wuruk was devastated because the woman who was so coveted and about to marry had died. He also very disappointed by Gajah Mada's very rash attitude. Hayam Wuruk regretted this action and sent an envoy, Dharmadiaksa from Bali, who was then in Majapahit to witness the marriage between Hayam Wuruk and Dyah Pitaloka, to express an apology to Mangkubumi Hyang Buniswara Suradipati, who became the acting king of Sunda state, and conveyed that all this event will be contained in the Sunda song, or Kidung Sundayana, to be taken wisdom. This incident caused relation between Hayam Wuruk and Gajah Mada to stretch, as well as the relationship between Sunda Kingdom and Majapahit Kingdom. Gajah Mada has been widely criticized by Majapahit officials and nobles because it is considered to have been sassy. He was finally presented with land in Makadipura. Although the land is a gift given to Gajah Mada, but the land is located far from the capital of Majapahit at the time. The act of granting land to Gajah Mada itself is like to a subtle suggestion for Gajah Mada to retire as Mahapati in Majapahit. In the land of Sunda, the younger brother of Dyah Pitaloka, Prince Niskala Wastu Kancana, who at that time did not come to Majapahit because he was still a child, became the only royal family that was still alive. He eventually ascended to the throne and decreed that all diplomatic relation between the Sundanese and Majapahit be completely separated. In addition, there is a rule known as Larangan Estri di Luaran, according to which it is forbidden to marry someone who is not related to Sundanese relative, or that they should not marry Majapahit. This restriction was later taken to mean that Sundanese people could not marry Javanese. So that's it, guys, the story behind this myth. And now, what we can learn from this story. What we can learn from this story is a great ambition can embezzle a person and harm many people. Even though Gajah Mada is a Mahapati in Majapahit at the time, he should not allow to make his own judgment. Furthermore, it meddles with the private life of his superior. In this case is Hayam Wuruk. Gajah Mada makes a minor blunder that causes trouble for everyone and also for himself. From Gajah Mada, we can learn that every decision we make in our life will have impact, both in our life and others. So be careful in making every decision in your life. Don't let this decision hurt you and those around you. Okay, I think this will be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye!